Hi guys, and in today's video I want to talk about Australian way of communication. This video will be really helpful for those who recently moved to Australia and looking for friends and work. I'll be sharing my own experience and tips that I found really helpful for myself, and I wish someone would make this video before and I would watch it before I arrived or when I just moved to Australia. So let's go! The first is a big one. If someone asks you, do you like Australia? All you have to say, I love Australia. And I do. Australia is a great place for living. Australians, they're very nice, communicative, they're responsive, they're happy to help. If you got lost in town, if you need help, you can always stop someone and ask for help. Be mindful, not always people know what you're asking for, but because they are very polite, they will try their best to help you. Remember about this one. Sorry if you hear too much noise at the background. It's late afternoon now, and that's why birds are so active. But that's what Australia is about. Australians, they're very helpful, I said that, but they're very quick with their speech. When they speak so fast and they set up your reply the same way, especially if English is not your first language, you might need to ask them to slow down. And there is no problem with that. You don't follow, it's okay to say excuse me or pardon me or I'm sorry, can you please slow down? You can say something else. Look, you can say, can you please speak slower for me, or can you please speak slower for me? You just let them know that you can't follow because of the quick speech or something like that, and they will try to make you feel comfortable. I want to share with you guys a very funny story that someone shared with me. A while ago I went to this presentation skills workshop. The speaker, she used to work in New York. She had a speech there in front of a big audience. In the end of her speech, everything went smooth and fine as she thought, and then this lady said, "Thank you very much, dear, it was so nice. I couldn't understand any word you were saying, but I really love your accent." This shows that even they speak the same language, they couldn't quite understand each other. That's why, please don't worry about your language if English is not your first one. Make sure you ask them what you need. As I mentioned before, Australians, they're very well mannered, they are polite, they use it all the time. You are in Australia, you speak to anyone. Make sure your communication starts polite way. Say something like, excuse me, would you mind to do this favor for me, or would you mind to help me, or I'm sorry for interrupting, could you, would you? And make sure when you end up your communications with thank you very much, you were really helpful, I appreciate your help, thank you, and things like that. Even, for example, if someone stepped on your foot, you have to say, excuse me, and then that person would apologize. It's a bit different that I got used to, but I like this way. Another one, this one should be the first. When you meet people, when you want to communicate, you'll hear, hi, how you doing? Or hi, how's it going? And you're gonna say, oh, great, thank you, how are you? Or wonderful, what about you? Or good, yourself? It basically means hi, hello. It doesn't mean that someone wants to know how are you really doing. That's just to be nice and polite. It's not about how you're doing. So remember, if someone's asking you, hi, how's it going? All you have to say, good, thanks, how are you? And I remember this funny story when I just moved to Australia. When I went to grocery, at the counter they asked me, did you have a busy day? I was absolutely confused. I didn't know what I have to reply because I didn't know what they expect from me. I can't remember what I said. I probably said something, but I thought, do they really want to know was my day busy or what I was doing in my day? And then I asked my husband, and my husband said, no, they simply wants to be polite and comfort the communication while you're waiting for them to pack your grocery. So that was an eye-opener for me. Now I know that it doesn't really mean anything. It's just simply a nice way to communicate and to be polite and make people comfortable. Most of the communication here in between people, it's about to make each other feel comfortable and not stressed. That's why Australians, they love their saying, no worries. Whatever's happening, they say, no worries, man, no worries, mate, no worries. Another one is probably the biggest one, is a small talk. Everywhere you go, you'll find that people start to communicate through the small talk. First they say, hi, how you doing? And then it goes, oh, new ring, where did you get this? And that's how it started. Or, wow, you've got new haircut, I love this color. The subject could be anything, really. It could be clothes, children, house, new work or old work, renovation, car, anything. One of my friends, she's a business coach, and she said it's a sweet and sour sandwich. So what it means, first they sweeten their communication with saying something nice, and then they jump into the subject. Small talk is quite important. When you email, when you are on the phone with someone, you're following the same rule. First, you are asking how you're doing, then you're asking, did you have a good weekend? Or what's your plan for the weekend? And then you jump into your conversation, or you're asking what do you want, if it's a work communication or if it's a friendly communication. I hope guys you liked this video and you found these tips helpful. Please support me with subscribing to my channel if you want to stay tuned in terms of what's happening in Australia and Australian way of life. And I wish you all good life in Australia, and I'll talk to you really soon. See ya, see ya, see ya. Huh.